I mean, that was, apparently it was like that way in Grand Rapids
Yeah.
period of the second game. But I mean, that's how you want to play it.
Yeah, and then even we followed it up, I thought was, I mean, we gave up 3 shots in the second, so it wasn't horrible. It's just, you know, we got to do it consistently. I thought there were times where we, you know, we can't adjust our game based on who we think we're playing. We've got to play the right way no matter who we're playing against. And that's just keeping pucks moving and using their speed, pucks going behind their D. At times I thought we did a really good job of it. And then, you know, they're a hard forechecking team, so eventually they're going to catch up to you and they're going to get some zone time. But for the most part, I thought it was pretty good.
Is there a plan right off the face-offs at the beginning of periods? Or,
Well, especially against teams, we've had, you know, some success with that, and teams that forecheck hard right off opening face-offs. You know, we've got a plan going in of what we want to do. Now, it doesn't always work out the way that it has, but even I think it was Friday night in Grand Rapids, Tardif was in alone on their goaltender. Same type of situation. So it's good execution on our part by our guys and just recognizing what the other team is doing. But we try to go into every face-off with some sort of a plan.
Tardif has 11 points in his last 12 games. So what do you think led to his resurgence?
Just confidence. I think he's been getting chances all year, and you know, I think he was a little bit frustrated earlier in the year, and you see that a lot with guys that I think you know, come from a different team, and they're known as a scorer, so it's a lot of pressure on them, and there have been times when we've needed more scoring, and he takes a lot of that responsibility, so I think he was getting a little bit frustrated and probably pressing a little bit too hard, but he's really kind of let the game come to him a little bit more and been patient, and he plays around the net. He's not afraid to take a hit in front of the other team's net, and you know, he can make some plays down low, so he's a tough guy to contain, and it's important for us to get him going because we need that with Lukey being gone now. You need those guys that can be consistent scorers for you.
And get them again on Friday night, and this time outdoors.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. We get them Friday, and then we get them next Friday. And the next Friday. So, you know, I think it's a good thing in the fact that we know how hard they play. They really come at you in terms of their physical play and their forechecking. So it's a hard night on your D-core. But I thought we handled it for the most part really well tonight. So it'll set the tone well for the game on Friday.
Of course, one thing with the scheduling quirk, the first 5 times you play them are all here, then the next 5 are in Cleveland.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't make a lot of sense the way that it works, but you know, it's good. You got to take care of your home games, and we've done a really good job of that this year. I think we've won 8 out of 12 at home. I think we're 8-3-1 now at home, and you really got to take care of your home ice, especially in the divisional games, and we're lucky in the fact that we got 5 out of 6 divisional games coming up, and 4 of them are at home. So it's important for us to be good here.
with Armia, I mean, how can you get, I guess, maybe consistency out of him? I mean, I know he's obviously a young player, still young in the league, but tonight it didn't seem like he was on the puck very often.
Yeah, it's a matter of him learning to play a different game. And I thought that, you know, I think him and Ellis and Gillies, they play a lot together, and that gives them 2 working-class guys that are going to go after pucks and get them and get him pucks in good areas. I think he's got to be more of a player who plays away from the puck more instead of wanting it all the time, moving it and getting to open space and then using his shot and using his body in front of the net. That's where goals are scored, and I think players coming from overseas where you got that extra 15 feet on the sides, there's a lot of space out there, and there isn't here. And there's going to be even less when he goes up to the National League. So he's making progress, and I like where he's going with his game. It's going to take some time. It's like breaking any other habit. You just got to learn to do things in a different way.
Do you like him with Gillies and Ellis to kind of see what they do?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, exactly. Get your feet moving, get over pucks, be difficult on defensemen, don't expose it. You know, he tries to break a lot of guys down one-on-one. With his skill level, he can do it. The problem is that there's always somebody right there that's going to come in and be on the puck and help defensively. So you really got to move the puck. If you beat that first guy, move it right away, get to some good ice, and then or get to the net and make sure that you're available for the puck. And he'll get better at that. I think he's making a lot of progress.
Gillies has been, I think, really good on the forecheck.
He's our best. Him and Water are 2 best forecheckers, I think, especially after losing Patty. You know, because he's so fast, he's so big, and he finishes every check down there. And we're not a real heavy team up front. If you look at our forwards, we don't have a lot of big guys that play heavy on team's decor, so we need guys like him to be on pucks, and he can, straight ahead, he's really fast. He gets in there in a hurry and he plays through defensemen, so, and that's another way you can get pucks for Joel is by eliminating defensemen and then transition off the forecheck.
Has he been better at the last month or couple weeks, whatever, than earlier in the year?
I thought he was pretty good early. He was playing, he had the knee injury, so he was out for a little while. And I think when he first got back from that, he wasn't comfortable. I still think there was some lingering effects that he had with that. And now you can just see his confidence going in there. And there's no holds barred once he gets in on a defenseman now. So I think that's been a big difference for him.
What's the transition like for Ruido, I guess, to being your number one power play point guy?
I think it's been hard on him only in the fact that, he's still a rookie in this league, and even though he played 7 National League games last year, it's just a small taste. And I think you find with guys coming from where he comes from, where you're playing 2 games a week, it's a lot different than coming here and grinding every night against bigger, stronger players that are really physical with you. So I think mentally it's been more of a challenge for him. I think he does a pretty good job with his physical recoup, but I think mentally he's just got to make sure that he's prepared every night. And much like we talked about before, make the night easy on yourself. 5-on-5, you get a puck movement. Bring the forechecker in and let him be physical on you, because at your size, it's going to wear you down after a while. I think he's done a lot better with that. We continue to work on it with him.
Same thing with Shaler with that adjustment?
For sure. And the game is, I think, really fast for those guys, and I think it takes time. And same with even Joel. He's played 2 years of pro. I think you're going to see a lot of growth in those guys after Christmas time, where they kind of get the game get aware of what's going on a little bit more, know what to expect, and then know how to prepare themselves, work on their routines, and hopefully we'll see a lot of growth after Christmas time.
Any special preparations for playing outdoors on Friday?
Getting a hat?
Yeah. Absolutely. It's going to be cold out there.
It is.
We'll skate there tomorrow night and trying to get a feel for what it's going to be like and what the ice is going to be like. I think the big thing is just our guys understanding. We tell them this every night, no matter what sheet we're playing on, is just keep the game simple, because, when you're outdoors, you got the elements. The ice isn't going to be the same as it would be, here in Blue Cross. So it's probably going to get snowy. You can shovel it all you want, but it's going to get chippy if it's really cold. So it's going to be a little bit different in that way. So you really got to simplify the game.
Yeah, at least they're not predicting the 8 inches like they had in Philly on Sunday.
You bring your shovel for it.